All right, so we have a few questions that the attendants have asked for you guys. So the first one is this. So why is partnership? Why do you guys think partnership is a very, very important and an essential part of the business? Who'd like to start?
I think partnership is critical because, you know, you both live in the same house. If you're not working towards the same goal, you know, you've seen the people that they go to work, they go to home, you know, and they're both going their separate directions, and nothing really is getting accomplished. So two people working together is so powerful.
It's good. I always say it's the special secret sauce. I know for us, with our partnership, Ian was amazing at 2 or 3 things, and I was good at everything else, and so if we didn't work together, we would have been a disaster. If it was just me, nothing would have ever gotten done or written or, you know, built. But if it wasn't for me, who knows what would have happened to what he was trying to build. And so why do I say that? Because there really is power in partnership. And so two people working together towards the same goals, the same vision, doing the same thing, it just is like exponential growth. There's just magic when it comes to building a team with both partners attending, right? Recruiting across with both partners there. And so just there's really something extra special when the partners are there together. It's like that special magic that happens. So that's why we
Absolutely
go with it. Go ahead.
I think for Chris and I, exactly what Jessica said, but the one thing that I think help us end the discussions with purpose, you know, arguments, maybe some of you guys in partnerships have had one of those or two, was we sat down and identified each of our strengths. Like I sat down and I wrote out what I think Chris's strengths are and what I think my strengths are. And he did the same, and then we sat down with each other and we identified each of the roles each of us were going to play. And then that's when we really started meshing together as a partnership. Now then, the one caveat to that is if there's an area that I chose to take over, that meant he had to back off.
Yep.
Okay? That meant even if I didn't do it the same way he did, he had to back off. And the same with his areas.
Awesome. I think for us,
Jim, how do you feel, by the way, with all these beautiful women here? How do you feel right now?
What's that?
How do you feel right now, these amazing women here?
I feel out of place
great.
a little bit. I mean, other than the pink shirt, I guess, you know, that might
Good.
help blend in.
You and I, we're rocking up here this stage. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And take my hat off, and now we're really rocking it, right?
Guys.
I think for us, you know, as far as our partnership goes, there was a lot of things when we first started out, you know, having 2 young kids. Bonnie was always out in the field, so I know maybe some of the partnerships don't really look the same as what ours did, but a lot of the things I had to do was just pick up what she would do, you know, like I would get off work, 12-hour shift or whatever, come home, cook supper for the kids, have to put them to bed, you know, and always answer them questions, where's mommy at, when she was out on appointments late, you know. So I just being there and helping out wherever you can, I think is really important.
Absolutely. That's awesome. And partnerships, obviously, they come in all shapes, right? In all ways. And some partners stay home, some don't. That's phenomenal. How about non-supportive partner? Now, I know none of you wear that ever, Jessica. But I've just heard their stories. I'm just saying. But you know, so what do you do if you have a non-supportive partner, or maybe if you've been one of those non-supportive partners? So how do you fix that? What would you recommend to improve that situation for anyone here who's done that, or who's that person maybe?
I guess I will start, since I was the unsupportive partner to the best degree of possible out there. But you know, one of those things that Ian made sure he didn't do is he didn't ever push me. He never pushed me to do it or come, or he invited, but it was never something that was pushed in my face, like you need to do this, or you should be doing this, I'm doing this, or he let me be, which is great advice. So if you have an unsupportive partner, kind of let them be and just show them what you're worth, right? Show them what you can do. Show them the magic of Primerica. And that's really what Ian did. And at the time, magic came in dollar signs. And so I was like, wait a minute, I like that $1,000 you're making, so I don't want you to quit. So I kind of stepped back and said, okay, keep doing this, I'll not nag. And so that's the first thing, is make sure that you're showing them that you're serious, right? The biggest concern for an unsupportive partner, and which was my concern, is I don't know if you're really just wasting time and taking that time away from me or us, or at the time, family. And so you need to go out there and really do it. Do it, show them that, you know, what you're trying to invite them to or get them to come to is worth their time and is worth the investment. And so that's really what Ian did. He put actions behind his words or his requests, and he started making money and saying, hey, look, this isn't just some thing, this is the thing, this is it. And so once I saw that, I finally gave in to an invite, and then, so that would be the second thing, is try and let them see what you're doing, right? Not just show them that you're making money, that you're serious, but show them the impact. Right? I started to listen to the crusade stories, and I started to listen to some of the things, and I started to see the dreams of, hey, us making money and building this together, there was possibility. And so those three things of just, you know, hey, him not pushing me, and then, you know, showing me action, but then also showing me possibility and showing me why. Why is he out there doing this? Because of families, because it matters, because they need him. And so those were things I was like, wow, I'm now proud to say that my husband's doing this or my partner's doing this. And so that was a big key for me.
Nice.
I think Bill Arender said it this morning, you know, you need to pray into your partner and ask God to bring the two of you together and really build this thing together. One of the things that we did, when we first started the business, we didn't have kids. And so, in fact, we weren't even married, and I was going on, our dates were KTs. And so, I think
Wow,
that
Jim.
is a key, though. If you get your partner out on KTs with you, that is really, really important. You have to set some ground rules, and number one is the partner does not open their mouth at all. Jim used to say, he who speaks first loses, and he would like go in for the close, and I'd go, whatever, and he's like, oh my God, you just blew that for me, you know. So as the partner at the kitchen table, you just have to smile and nod your head and, you know, do that. But that was really important for us, is that I went out on a lot of KTs with him, and I got to see what this company was all about. And at the time, I was working for a financial planner, so I would go back to the office and like poll people and say, well, what'd you do for that client? And then I would take the same circumstance and I'd go to Jim and I'd go, what would you do for this client? And, you know, I just started to see that Jim's clients were so grateful for what he was doing for them. And the financial planner, you know, they were getting charged $100 an hour, so you're pretty much going to do what the guy says. And they were just like, thank you very much, goodbye. And it started to really hit my heart and go, this company is something special and people need to see us.
I would dovetail on what Julie said. I would go on appointments with Chris, same thing, never spoke, but I might get on the floor with the kids so that I could keep both the husband and wife at the table, so they would both stay engaged in the presentation. And then the other thing that does is it's a couple coming over versus a salesperson coming to call, okay? And it kind of changes the whole flavor of the appointment. So I think that part's huge.
Yeah, I mean, just, well, say the question again, please.
So if you have an unsupportive partner out there,
Oh, yeah.
right? So what would you recommend that would be some good things for them to do?
Gotcha. Yeah, one of the things that we do is we do a lot of dinners. Like when we get people licensed, we take them to dinner. Obviously, we're not as big as Chris and Elizabeth or Ian and Jessica, so we can still do that. But that's a time for me to actually talk to the partner and kind of get them supportive with, you know, letting them know, like, hey, this is the real deal, and, you know, you need to be supportive of your partner here and try to get them on board. Also, we do dinners at our house, so that's another occasion where I can sit down with the partners and just kind of, you know, get with them and let them know kind of some of the things to help support, because, I mean, without a supportive partner, you know, my biggest role with Bonnie was to pick her up whenever, you know, not that there's a lot of times where people were down, but like she failed a test 3 or 4 different times. And so like one example was she went and took her 6, failed it, but she had her 63 scheduled right afterwards. She come out, and I had to pick her up and say, go back in and take that test and pass the 63. So I think lifting them up.
Right, that's awesome. Awesome, great. Last and not least, guys,
Can I interject
Yeah,
real
absolutely,
quick?
yes.
Now, just for the record, if you tend to go out on an appointment with your partner, make sure they know it's an appointment. Because in the beginning, Ian and I took me on some of those appointments, and they weren't so much appointments, but we're like, are you ever going to talk about the business? So make sure it's set up like an appointment. Do you ever go on any of those? You're like, are we going to watch Law and Order forever? You're like sitting there, like, is dinner ever going to end? Are we going to talk about Primerica? And Ian would be giving me the look, and I'm like kicking him under the table. So this was very early on, but just make sure they know it's a KT and a real appointment, not a double date. You don't want to get in trouble there.
Nice, very valuable. Done that. So, lastly, what are some good books, some good audios, something that you guys can recommend for partners that would strengthen that partnership, that would help out to make sure that both people are kind of on the same page?
You know, the first book that really turned me around was The Power of Positive Thinking. Is that what it's called? By Norman Vincent Peale. And I had taken my kids to swimming lessons, and I was an A-type personality, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta do something. So I opened the glove box, and that book was there, and I read it, and I went home. I was like, Jim, have you read this book? It's really good. And my current book right now is Girl, Wash Your Face. For any females out there, oh my gosh, she gets like in your face, and it's all about how you talk to yourself and what you're thinking about, and that is so important in how you help others.
Cool.
The Norman Vincent Peale book is like a textbook. Daryl Taylor said it's one you should read like every single year. It is a phenomenal book. If you've not read it, you need to read it. Another one is Atomic Habits.
Incredible.
Okay, and from the marriage standpoint, because you've got to, just like you're working on your business, just like Bill Rinder just talked about, you learn about money, you got to learn about your business, you got to work on your marriage. Okay, so 5 Love Languages, if you've not read that, and if you don't implement that, you need that one. His Needs, Her Needs by Hartley. Love and Respect is another one. I can't remember who the author of that one is. Chris says the new book coming out is His Needs, His Needs. I don't think that's going to make it, but
I help him co-write that book. It's 1 page. Sorry.
She just stuck to it. 5 Love Languages, awesome. The Love and Respect, awesome. Those are some of Ian and I's favorite. Which, if you think Girl, Wash Your Face is good, Girl, Stop Apologizing is even better. It's way more business focused even than the personal focus. I like that one much better. Gosh, we could go on and on, but those are all good ones. Do you have any to add?
What you say when you talk to yourself, I think, was a big one for me. That's one of the first ones I ever read. Maybe not so much on partnership, but, and then also just finding somebody out there, a partnership to kind of look up to. I mean, we've always looked up to Chris and Elizabeth, but also Mark and Sandy Yazapovic. They did a School for Christian David that's on SoundCloud. There's like 2 different recordings of it. One's Mark and one's Sandy, but listening to that and just Sandy talking about how Dennis and Sean kind of helped them through things, I think was pretty big for me.
Yeah,
Awesome.
the home office, if you go on POL, they have a whole partnership tab, and that really has lots of great audios that you can listen to, past recordings of conference calls with some of the top partnership leaders in our business, and all different looks. Like, right, we have a few representing up here, but it could be mom and dad, or mom and sister, or brother, dad, or whatever the situation is. You will find much more variety of different partnerships on POL if you go on Primerica Online, and you can sit there and listen to them or watch them or whatever it is. But YouTube, Jan Lamarck was one of my favorite when I started in the business. If you go on and it's an old one, but she's on YouTube, and that's like top notch. I mean, even go back and watch our, Angela Williams. She has a bunch of just wonderful, wonderful partnerships that you can look up to and listen to their audios. And so much is at our fingertips, which is really amazing. So I really encourage you guys to do that.
Would you guys say it's just as important for the main agent to also, understand the value and the what the partner really represents, what the role is, like the main agent, because as you're saying, like if I push, you're gonna go back, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's important that partnership we teach it on a main stage on Friday nights, because it's not just the partners that should learn, but the agents need to understand, the value of their partner and what could be and how to incorporate them. And like Elizabeth was even saying, like knowing that, hey, if I'm letting you do this, I stay out and let you do this, right? We have a lot of the headbutting or whatnot, but yes, it's very vital for both partners to realize how important each other are in that partnership. It's not just the writing agent, the business, or the other person or whatnot. It's together that it really works.
I think one of the things that's helped Chris and I over the years, and we say it every time we're in front of a group, is when I first got married, scheduling a date didn't sound romantic at all, but not having a date didn't sound romantic either. So for the last 30 years, we have made sure every single week we have a date. Now we have, every morning we sit and have coffee together for at least 30, 45 minutes every morning. And then we have our quiet time with God and then get our day going. In other words, we're giving each other the best of our day. And going forward, we also still have a date night. But schedule that time so you're not giving your leftovers to your partner. Okay, now you're probably going to talk about the business, but at least you guys will be on the same page. Okay?
That's right. Cool. Any last remarks that you guys would like to share with this awesome group today?
I mean, I guess for me, being a supportive partner, I'm 48 going on 49, and because of the business that we've built, I no longer work. I'm basically retired. Obviously, I've picked up, as we've went along through our journey with the business, I've picked up more things at the office, different things that I help out with as far as, helping people study and getting them through the different processes. I may not be out in the field like Bonnie is on a day-to-day basis, but kind of the back scenes type of person. And, because we've built what we built, and me being supportive, that's why I no longer have to work, so.
That's good. And real quick, I'll just leave you with this. I know every event I ever went to, I tried to say, what is one thing I can take home? What's one thing I can go home and do different and apply to our partnership, my life, our marriage, whatever it is. And so I encourage you, if you're a partner in here, what from, yesterday or all day today, write down one thing at the end of today and say, you know what, I'm going to do this, whether it's get licensed or don't nag or show up to meetings from now on, or I'm going to prospect or whatever it is. Find one thing and leave here and really work on that one thing, because sometimes it seems overwhelming that, oh, she's so awesome or he's doing this, but no. You take one thing and get better at it, and you'll be absolutely amazed at what you get out of that as you work together to grow your business and build big things. So I thank you guys so much, and we'll see you at the top.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. Give it up for this amazing panel.
I can make your hands